Hello everyone and congratulations for being in module number 3. We are about to finish. To continue with this module, we are going to have a debrief video about the assessment sample activities that you saw in phase number 2. To begin with, let's look at activity number 1, my family tree. In this activity, we have a short pictures and directions, but let's consider what level is this activity suitable for. This activity will align for a pre-A1 level, and if we pay attention to the instructions, are they clear? If you look, you could tell students, okay students, make a family tree and present it tomorrow to the class. Instead of saying something as simple as that, we can break it down into more specific steps that they need to follow. First, they need to draw a family tree and include the names and pictures. Number 2, they will show it to the class and they have to explain the relationship between each member of the family. And finally, they have to describe the name, age, and physical appearance. As you see, we are integrating different skills, different knowledge, so that the students can develop the competency of describing their family. So, the content is aligned to Unit 3 of Level Pre-A1. Number 2, we have some sample answers. In the first sample answer, we have the ideal student and he is integrating everything correct. But let's be honest, in this part we are looking at a script. We cannot look at fluency, pronunciation, and a little bit of communicative competence or communicative interaction. But if we pay attention to the other one, let's analyze the script. If you see in yellow, there are some mistakes highlighted. However, this doesn't mean the student is not learning. Remember, there are different things we need to take into account when we talk about assessing language and specifically speaking skills. You can see the student is using vocabulary appropriately. He can identify family members. He can identify how to use numbers to express age. He can describe or he can match adjectives for describing physical appearance. However, the student needs help with word order and verb agreement in many cases. But if you see, the main problem are verb agreements and word order. It means that we need to do some reinforcement about that in the classroom. However, there are other areas of consideration, and those will be covered in the following rubric. As you can see, we're talking about grammar structures, we're talking about vocabulary, we're talking about pronunciation, fluency, and interactive communication. And for each part, we have different criteria. For example, in grammar, criteria 1, 2, and 3 refer to the specific content that you have just developed in class and that you are verifying, while criteria number 4 refers to a general achievement. And instead of using a scale from 1 to 10, we have 4 criteria, and each criteria has specific points. If the student needs improvement because we cannot understand what he's saying, if he has sufficiently achieved because he's communicating something, he has notably achieved the criteria, it's really good, or if it's perfect, it is outstandingly achieved. However, when I say it's perfect, it means it's good for the level, because remember, errors are normal and we are not evaluating based on errors. We are evaluating based on competency achievements by integrating knowledge of grammar and vocabulary, skills, and contextualization. If we look at the second example, again, we have directions that go with different steps and you specify students what they need to include. Again, we need to see if this is for a pre-A1 level. Now, this is for an A2 level because that's where students are looking for superlatives and comparatives. The instructions are clear and the content is being developed and correlated to the syllabus. Again, we have 2 answers, one with areas of improvement, and if you see, they are less than in the previous case, but again, we have some of them with wording, with word order and grammar. So, we have a different rubric, but this rubric doesn't have a specific criteria, so it's a little bit more subjective. So, let's use right rubrics, use contextualization, and be careful when assessing speaking skills.